Okay, we're going to take the painter's tape, tear off a piece, approximately the size of our design, and lay the tape down on top, like so, and press the tiles onto the tape. And then we're going to take another piece and do the same thing again until we've covered the entire tabletop. And after we get done doing that, we're going to hopefully be able to transfer it from the back of the tape to the top of the table as we're laying it down. Hopefully. Usually it turns out, but sometimes it doesn't. You have to. But for the most part, it's fairly easy, fairly, general. You just pull a tile off, butter the back, stick it down, and move on to the next one. And I'll show you how that's done in just a minute, as soon as we get done laying this all out. And if you do your tape a little short, it's okay. You can just grab another piece like that, put it down. It all sticks together. So let's see if we can hurry this along. I'm going to start back here too. Oh, I'll get that one later. One pops out, it's okay. You can just pick it up and fill it in later. It's always handy to have your 2-wheel cutter here, because if it doesn't fit in, you might want to cut the tile down, cut it shorter, make it fit in. It's not that difficult. So we're going to fill this in. This one's already down, remember, so I don't need to. I can put tape over it, and maybe I will, but you don't really need to. But that all depends on your design, and if you have cutouts in your table you want to go around or whatever. And you don't have to do this. You can just simply pick each tile up, butter the back, and stick it back down, which is easy too, whichever way you're more comfortable with. Now this one was really a pain in the butt to lay out, so I'm going to tape it up because I don't want to have to lay it out again. It was very time consuming and whatnot. So anyways, get your tape it all down. Feel free to fast forward through this part if you like. You don't have to watch me tape it all down, but I'm not going to stop the video just so I can tape it down and then come back. Okay, so now we've got it pretty much, now we've got it pretty much taped down, like so. And then here comes the real fun part. Okay, so then you'll pick up a corner. I usually pick up a corner. Oh, and if any of them didn't stick down, you can just make sure that it's stuck on there. Might want to go over each bit of it pretty good and make sure all of them are stuck on. Hopefully that's good. Oh, missed one. There we go. And again, if any of them don't stick on, you can just leave them where they're sitting and pick them up, butter them, and stick them back down. It's not there's no science to it. And a couple of them aren't sticking, but that's all right. I can pretty much fill them in. I knew this part was going to be a pain right here because it's stuck down, so it doesn't want to come up because these tiles are already glued down. But for the most part, it pretty much worked. Now I'm going to show you, see how it looks. A couple are falling out here and there, but it's okay. So then you just take this and set it aside, or wherever you're going to be able to grab on and start pulling them off and sticking them on. I'm going to put mine right in front of my work right here. And a couple fell off here and there, but I can pretty much fill those in. I know where they go for the most part. So I'm just going to move them out of the way, and then we'll get to sticking them on. These ones I'll just set right here. There's a couple here and there, and you'll know where they go. But for the most part, it's done. And then now I want to brush the top of the table off because it's got, since I tore it off, some of the tiles still had grout on them, and I cleaned them off on the top here. And so you can just get a little brush and brush it off. You can turn the table upside down if you want. I don't have a lot of room in here in my little workshop area right now, so I'm just going to brush it off and get it all cleaned off, because you want your surface that you're going to be gluing down to be really nice and none of these little specks of dirt or sawdust or anything on there, because it'll make your tiles sit a little bit funny. They won't be completely flat. So we'll just clean that all off. And there we go. She's ready to glue on now. All right, so then you're going to get a pair of gloves. I've got to grab some real quick. I'll be right back. You can buy these gloves at Home Depot. They're just disposable latex gloves. That's what I use. And put on some gloves. Also, when you're cutting your tiles, you want to wear some eye protection. I have glasses, and I have work glasses, so I just wear those so that when you're nipping the tiles, you don't get any glass in your eye or any bits of pottery or ceramic or porcelain in your eye. Okay, now we got our gloves on, got our strong stick, and somewhere I have our putty knife. Here's a putty knife right here. Okay, so then what I do is I take the strong stick, and what's really good about this stuff is I found I really like it. I've tried, you can use any kind of glue. You can use Weld Bond, you can use Loctite super glue, you can use tile adhesive that they sell at Home Depot. But I like this stuff because it squeezes right out. You can just squeeze some out of the tube. Take a little bit off. Just set it down. And then grab your tile that you're going to be putting down. I'm going to start over in this corner. And I'm going to start with the outer tiles because I like to put those down first and then fill in the inside. It's a lot easier for me, but you can do it any way you want. So I'm going to take the first tile, which is this one right here. Also, you might want to go, you can get one of these stones at Home Depot. It's a pumice type stone. And if any of your tiles, you're not happy with the way they're cut, or they're, you know, not straight enough for you, you just get one of these stones. You can do this and file them down, and it does a pretty good job. Also, I've used diamond, let's see, oh, here I have one right here. You can get these diamond encrusted barrel burr tips on eBay. They're like $11 or $12 for a full set of about 40, maybe 40, 50 of them. They come in all different shapes and sizes. You got this kind. I have another one here. It's smaller. And then you just insert them in your Dremel. I don't have one in my Dremel right now, but you insert it in your Dremel and it spins around, and you can just roll it onto, do it on this and it on the tile, and it sands it down for you. I wouldn't use any kind of stone on the tile or any kind of sandpaper or anything like that. You're going to wreck your design on the front. So just if you use a Dremel, just be careful. And it does have pieces that fly off and can get in your eyes, so you got to be real careful of that. But if you're someone that's in a hurry, I find that also if your tiles aren't exactly the same height, I've done this too. You can grind down the back of the tile and make it flatter to level them out. It's time consuming, and really it's better off you're just better off to try to get your tiles all the same height. You can grind them down. I've done that. It's taken me a really long time to finish a piece, but you can do that. So anyways, we're going to take the back of our tile like this and spread the glue on, or butter the back of the tile like so. You don't have to get a real thick coat on. It's fairly thin. And then you're going to put it down where you want it. And then with this stuff, you've got to press down really hard, because that is what makes it adhere to the surface, is pressing down. And you'll be able to move them for about a good 10 minutes after that. 10, 15 minutes or so. And then they're pretty well stuck on. So you laid out your design, you have a fairly good idea of how it goes. You can pull off your tiles off, and I'm just using this as a guide, and I'm pretty close. So I've also, on more intricate designs, I've numbered the back of my tiles as I've cut the plate, because as you get into it, you'll see. These were already cut. Like I said, I had them down on a table before. They've got some edges. I'm going to take the razor blade scraper knife and get all that stuff off after I grout. It's no big deal. It comes right off. And you do that before you seal the grout. And I also like to seal my grout, and then I like to get carnauba wax and wax the whole top of my table after it's finished. It just brings out the shine of the plate, and kind of helps to seal the grout too. Even though the grout's sealed with sealer, it just kind of keeps it cleaner. It dusts off a lot easier, and you don't have to get water on the top of your table or anything like that to clean it off. So we're just going to go ahead and lay down our tiles like this. Pull a tile off the tape. Get some of your strong stick. Butter the back of the tile. And you don't have to be real precise or get it on every inch of it, because like I said, this stuff is good adhesive. It sticks on, and it sticks on good. Just make sure that you press down and get it all pressed down before you move on. See, they're still pretty adjustable. You can adjust them, and make them fit. If your design is really tight like mine, you can make them fit for a long time. You can move it around for quite a bit before it really gets stuck on there good. And we'll just go about doing this the entire design. You just butter the back of your tile. And if your tile has a little bit more curve to it, you might want to butter it a little thicker so it grabs on good. And like I said, I was just guesstimating on where these go. And I might have put them up a little high because this was pretty tight when I had my design down. So there you go. That's it. And then you leave after you're all done, you leave them for 24 hours and they're on there. It's not going anywhere. This is already done. I did this last night. You get any adhesive on the top of your tile, and like I said, it comes right off with my razor knife, my razor blade knife. So I don't know where I put that, but I'll find it and then scrape them off and scrape any other kind of grout or anything else that's on there. These are on. They're not moving. They're not going anywhere. It's on there. So your design's pretty well going to be secure on the top of this. And you want to leave a little teeny space in between so that it fills in with grout and your design is pretty uniform. Not too much space, but a small thin line of space for your grout. So that's how you do it. And then you just continue on, and I'll be back as soon as all my tiles are secured onto the top of the table and it's been cured, and then I'll show you how to grout.